joining me today to celebrate Earth Day. I'm really excited to be here with you today to talk about all of the things that we can appreciate, enjoy, and do to take care of the earth and ourselves too. My name is Katie and I'm a yoga teacher with the Yoga Buggy, and I'm excited to share some movement, some breath, and some different ways that we could learn to maybe think about the earth and all the ways that we're connected to and part of the earth too. With that in mind, we'll take a minute, maybe you take a comfortable seat, we'll talk for just a minute, and then we'll take some time to move around soon too. So first we could take a minute and you could listen, think about some of the ways that the earth really helps take care of us. For example, our breath. And sometimes we're really thinking about when we breathe, like when we take a breath in and a breath out. And even when we're not thinking about it, our lungs and our body are always breathing for us. Our breath keeps us alive. But we get our breath from where? We know that our air is all around us. But where does that fresh air and the particular type of air that we need to be living come from? Well, it comes from the earth, and in particular, a lot of the trees and plants around us. And just like us, they take in the air too, except they take in different parts. They like the carbon dioxide, and then they turn it into oxygen, which releases back into the air so we can breathe it in. Having fresh air keeps us healthy, and it's really important to keep the plants healthy for this reason, but also so they're healthy too. When we keep the plants healthy and the earth healthy, that's when we can also grow really nourishing food for us. So our food, different vegetables, plants, grains, all different things that we eat help us to grow strong and help us to have energy, and we get to enjoy it too. The earth also provides lots of materials like wood and stone for us to build our houses out of. So we get shelter, we get support, things like our clothing that keeps us warm and comfortable as well. The earth gives us so many things, as well as a place and like a big playground we get to play, enjoy in, and explore. There's lots of reasons that the earth gives to us, and lots of ways that we could maybe give back to it to help take care of it for ourselves, but also for other people, and maybe for the other living things that are here too. Well, we'll take a minute here, we'll talk about this a little bit more. Let's take a second and maybe explore a little bit of moving around in our breath together since we talked about trees. So we're going to imagine that we are trees together. So you can maybe come to a cross-legged position, like crisscross applesauce. As you come here, you could pretend your legs, your seat are like the tree roots, so you can root them down, kind of wiggle them, almost like you could sink right into the ground. You're keeping your legs really stable. And your upper body is like the tree trunk, so you can sit up nice and tall. You can make your arms like your tree branches in any shape or position that you would like. Now here, we'll do a little bit of breathing together. We're going to pretend that our breath is like the wind. So when we exhale out your mouth, you can make a little bit of noise and pretend that's like the breeze. We're going to start out taking a few louder breaths, a few big exhales, like a big breeze. So when you take a breath out, you can move your arms like your branches. The leaves are dancing as you breathe. We'll start, take a big breath in. As you breathe out, let your branches dance like your breeze is moving the tree. You can take another breath in. And as you exhale, big dance, breathing out, making a big breeze, dancing your branches. Do that one more time, take a big breath in. Maybe a little bigger, big dance with the branches. This time we'll slow it down a little bit, take a breath in. A slow breath out, make your arms move slower like the branches are moving in a really slow breeze. Do that again, you can take a breath in and a breath out, really slow arm movements. Take a breath in, and even slower, moving your branches, soft breeze. Now slow it down, hold your branches still. Almost like your tree was resting or sleeping, you can pause. And then let them be arms again, shake them out like noodles. That was really great. So there, our breath, as we moved our arms, was kind of like the wind through the trees. So just like the wind moves the trees and all the plants around us, our wind, our breath, helps us to move and have life too. Maybe we're not so different than the trees in a lot of ways. Thanks for doing that with me and breathing, and maybe you noticed that my cat Chaya came to join here too. So here it can be nice to take care of ourselves, of the earth, of other animals too, so of all living beings. This idea being that for the amount that we're given, we also give back. We want to be kind and care for all of these things so that they're both happy and healthy. So like we might want to take care of our pets, like a dog or a cat, whatever animal we might like we might take care of plants, we also want to take care of ourselves. So this idea, or a word we might use in yoga, is ahimsa. And this means non-harming to ourselves, to others, and to the earth. Ahimsa is important because we want to be kind and take care of all living things around us. The earth supports us, so do other people, so do our pets, and all the things that we enjoy. Just like those things, it's important to care about ourselves too. We're all part of the earth and all living beings here that deserve ahimsa, or non-harm and care. Maybe today and all days, you could spend a little bit of time giving some care, non-harming attention to the earth, maybe to some other living beings and yourself. What's another way that we could maybe do to think about taking care of the earth, but also take care of ourselves too? One way is to move our bodies. We're going to do that a little bit together now here. So you could bring yourself up to standing and have a little bit of room around you. So here we are going to take some time, and when we move around, we're going to be planting some seeds and growing some plants, like we might do in our yard or in a pot or just in our imagination too. And we'll start out first. You could come up to a standing position. You can give your body a little shake out first. All right, so now we are gardeners. You've got your garden shoes on, you've got your hat on, you look up, you see the sun is shining, so you wave hi to the sun. Now you bend over and you look down. You see a packet of seeds waiting for you. So here, now you can keep a bend in your knees and bend all the way over like you're bending in half. You can reach towards the ground. So here you can reach towards the ground. I'm going to reach this way. And you can rip open your packet of seeds. All right, you've got your seeds open. Let's bend a little lower back towards the ground. So maybe even squat down a little bit lower with the knees. All right, so now you can dig a little hole. Put your seeds down into the ground and pat it down into the earth. And now you've planted your seeds. So now let's see if you can step your feet a little wider and bend down a little lower, almost like you could sit on the ground. So here you have your knees bent. You could even rest your arms or your elbows on your knees or your thighs. So here you're balancing a little bit. And you can look back on the ground where you planted your seeds. You might not see anything yet, but just like with growing real seeds, or like our bodies growing, it takes a little bit of patience or time, a little bit of care. So you're waiting for your seeds, and while you do that, you decide to stand back up. You grab onto your watering can. You put your hand on your hip. You hold your watering can and lean over to one side. Maybe bend over to one side and you water your plants. Now we'll do that on the other side to make sure we get both sides of the plant really good. You step over, you keep a hand on your hip, you have another hand out to the side like a watering can. You're holding it here and bend over to the other side. And you're watering your plants on the other side. Great, you've watered the plants. So now you come back over, you bend over, maybe you put your hands on your legs and you look back at your plants. So now that you've weeded and watered your plants, you notice they've grown a little bit. You have some plants and sprouts. Yay, they've grown. And here you look back at your plants. This time you step your feet out wide apart. Here with your feet out wide apart, you can still have your hands on your legs and you fold over again. So here you're still looking at your plant and maybe you reach over to one side. And if you're pretending you're touching your plant, you're doing it really gently, really softly. And now you bend over to the other side. Reaching over this way too. Maybe you check out what's over here. And you bring your hands back to your legs. You bring your feet in. You stand up. You look over to this side. You look over to this side back at your plant. You give yourself a big hug and thank yourself for taking some time to maybe grow your seeds that now you and your family and other animals can enjoy. And also for taking some time to be outside and take care of yourself too. Now here you can sit back down next to your plant that you've taken some time to grow, maybe your cat as well. You're sitting down here, you can take a big breath in like a big fresh of air. Breath of fresh air in and let it all go. Big breeze out. You could bring one or both of your hands on your chest like it was over your heart. You're like you were giving your heart a hug. You could remind yourself today that you learned to take care of the earth because it does so much work to take care of us, to take care of ourselves as well. And the idea of ahimsa are non-harming, so taking care of ourselves, of others, of the earth, without harming and with care. Thank you for joining me today and spending some time to think about Earth Day. Maybe you could think about that today and every day, how we are connected and not so different from the earth maybe, how we could appreciate the trees and maybe the breath we take too. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me.